Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Popcorn Banter Mini. As always, I'm here with Keegan. Keegs, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I believe we're fresh off another watch of Chapter 11. Well, not another watch, but your first watch of Chapter 11.
I just watched it about 10 minutes ago. I finished it up, so it's all fresh in the mind, ready to go.
Yeah, I watched it this morning too. I normally watch it on a Friday evening, but for whatever reason, we didn't watch it last night. So I'm fresh and ready to go this morning as well. Okay, so I'm not going to put you on the spot like I did last week and make you give me a one-word review, but let's just get straight into our good, bad, and interesting. So we'll kick it off with you. What was your good from this week?
Well, the bit that I really liked, well, the whole episode I really liked actually. It was a really good, it's kind of where season 2 is really started, I think.
Yeah.
But it had a really strong intro. Like when they were flying what's his ship called? Um, Not off the top of my head.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
But when they were flying it into
Something Razor, right?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back to that one. But when they were flying it into the atmosphere and trying to land it on that little platform, and then just when you thought they kind of had it, it just sort of took that sideways turn and went into the water. I just thought it was a really strong beginning. And then, it really set it up for a good episode. So there was a good action sequence to get us into it. And yeah, that's what I really enjoyed.
In my written review of the episode, I had in my additional thoughts that it was pretty cool to see a repurposed AT-AT in the sort of dock area.
I did think that's kind of what they were going for, but I thought that was just kind of another robot. But yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. It looked like an AT-AT.
Razor Crest is what we were looking for.
Razor Crest, that's it.
Just remember.
It's in a bit of a state at the moment, but yeah, it was a really cool way to get into the episode. So I really enjoyed that.
My good is that finally, I've been harping on about this for 2 weeks or 2 episodes, but finally we got an episode or a chapter that actually addressed progressing the plot line and pulled at a lot of plot threads in this episode. And I was fist bumping all the way through the episode because I was like, this is what they should have done 2 episodes ago. But anyway, I said last week that I would learn to be happy with the.
And that's just when it changed on you and went to the story over. When I was watching it, I'm like, yeah, Drew's really going to like this episode. It's really
it also
to really giving us some progression to the story.
Yeah, definitely. And it also reintroduced a couple of characters that we were yet to see this season, such as Moff Gideon in the hologram thingy. And they also name dropped the Dark Saber, which was obviously a big talking point coming out of the final episode of season 1.
Exactly. I feel like that's going to be a bit more to do with the end of the season. I guess this Darksaber is going to have a bit more power than what we originally thought.
Yeah, and I thought it was a really cool way to reintroduce it by like talking about it as if it was, this thing that many people are sort of searching for. And obviously those Mandalorians that we saw in this episode are searching for that dark saber. Okay, well, let's move on to the bad then. So what was bad for this week?
Sorry about that. My bad was probably, I'm guessing it's going to be similar to yours, that twice in this episode, the Mandalorian was taken advantage of again. First of all, on that ship where he got thrown into the pit with the child, and second of all, when the Mandalorians took advantage of him to take over the ship.
Yeah.
He's just never ready for things.
I've never seen such a strong character get stabbed in the back so often.
And in that, when he was stuck in that pit with the whatever water creature it was, he wouldn't have got out of that. Like there was no way for our strong main character to get out of that position. And
that was absolutely. That was game over for him. But I suppose the other thing you need to keep in mind is we did say last week that it never feels like the Mandalorian is in trouble. And to that point, this week he was in trouble. He was going to die.
He was gone.
So I guess that's kind of good that they're showing there are vulnerabilities there. Although, come on, like who didn't see that Davy Jones lookalike, like pushing him into the water? That was always going to happen.
We're not any kind of Mandalorian, but I did not get a good feeling from him. Especially, it was like, hey, come over to this pit and look at this big creature eat.
Yeah, hey, come and stand on the edge of this pit where this extremely powerful monster is sitting. That's an awesome idea. My bad was that I actually didn't have a bad. So I think I was pretty vocal about the fact that I didn't like last week's chapter at all. But this week I was loving it. I thought it was a great episode. Had a lot of action. They progressed the storyline. They had some nice little Easter eggs and name drops in there. So I can't really draw my attention towards anything I didn't like. I suppose one thing that has been annoying me this season is why doesn't he just buy a new ship? Like
he seems to have a lot of credits all the time and but he doesn't want to buy a new ship. I think he might need to with the one that he's got at the moment though.
He seems to have this never-ending supply of credits. It's like, bro, just buy a new ship.
Pony up and get a new ship. He must have some kind of connection to the one he's currently got, but it's going to be a bumpy ride to the next planet. So we'll see how he goes with that.
It seems to have some pretty cool little gadgets on board, but surely all of those are obsolete at the moment. Well, let's move on to the interesting. I feel like there's a chance we're both going to have the same one here, but what was your interesting?
Well, my interesting wasn't really, it's just a funny thing that I saw in the episode. The frog husband and wife reunion. I found that very interesting. I found that a nice little heartwarming moment. Finally get to see the payoff of when the husband gets to see all the eggs. I just thought that was a nice little moment. And Yoda hadn't eaten them all. So, well, the child.
Yoda.
Child hadn't eaten them all. So
you think you'd know better after 900 years of being alive, right? Yeah, well, I mean, that wasn't actually my interesting. So we do have different ones. But yeah, that was nice. I thought that was a nice little payoff for a character I didn't particularly like last episode.
They didn't really just throw the frog wife away too. They still they had her babysit the baby Yoda, and he was there when the frog hatched. So maybe he was coming around to frogs are friends, not food.
I think we can all agree that it's definitely a good thing that there was no more eating of eggs this week.
Yep. I was actually very surprised how controversial that was after seeing all the posts this week.
I mean, I tend to stay away from that kind of stuff. It's like it's a TV character, but what were people saying?
Just they were copping a lot of flack for Baby Yoda eating frogs' eggs.
Okay. All right. Well, then my interesting was, of course, the name drop of Ahsoka. That's a big deal, you know. Like, I don't know if people are huge Star Wars nerds like we are, but obviously she was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, and it has been rumored for quite a long time that she will be, you know, entering the Mandalorian season. So I can't wait for that. I'm super excited to see how that storyline pans out and just introducing Jedis in general, because like you said last week, I think it was, this is a show that has largely stayed away from the Star Wars lore that we're familiar with, but it seems like they might be sort of angling back that way. Yeah,
well, she's kind of the Jedi that people that watch more than just the movies would know, because she's in the Clone Wars, she's in that Rebels show. She's kind of the one, they're paying fan service to the fans that are really stuck in there through not just the movies, but the shows as well. So I think everyone will be very excited to see her when she does pop up.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I don't really know the dynamics of the audience, but I wonder if The Mandalorian is sort of capturing more casual Star Wars observers rather than the hardcore fans, or I wonder if the hardcore fans are really engrossed in it too, because I feel like you and I sometimes struggle with the storylines being sort of enemy of the week kind of thing. But I feel like the casual fan would really be into that.
Well, I think it's a bit of an overlap of the casual fan. It's not so much because I never really watched the Clone Wars. I have an idea of what happened, but it's kind of capturing the audience that did watch the movies and didn't so much watch the Clone Wars, but also capturing the audience that did go that extra mile and watch all the TV shows that are considered canon as well. So I feel like it's a really, I don't know, it's balance. Really, accepting of everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, that takes care of our good, bad, and interesting. So out of 10, what did you think about this week?
I think it was the best one so far. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I think it was very good. It was a very good episode.
There was,
I was thinking whether I was going to give it that half point, but I think it deserved it.
yeah, I'd give it an 8 just because I enjoyed it, but I'm not sure how much I enjoyed it just because I didn't enjoy the previous episodes. I still feel like there's a lot of room for growth. The funny thing coming out of each of these episodes is that, you know, they're what are they, 40 minutes long, maybe 45. The episode finishes and I find myself sitting there going, is that all? Like, is that it? I suppose because it brings you in like a movie, but then it just kind of finishes. So
yeah, it did feel quick. That would be if they really released the season all at once and we could watch the 8 episodes all at once. That would be the best way to do it. But I see what they're doing. They want to get you subscribed to Disney Plus for a little bit longer so they can get a bit more money. But yeah, it's really a binge series, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something that I did think this morning, just after I finished the episode, that it's 100% the kind of show that you have to binge in order to enjoy it at its utmost, because when you're watching it week to week, it just doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're very spoiled. So, but that's good. So we both gave it 8s, or did you settle on 8.5, or did you say 8?
I gave it the extra half point.
Okay, so 8.5 and 8. So we can both agree that there's still room for improvement, but it was a very good episode.
And I believe that's the way it's going to. They've kind of given us that little bit. They might chuck another episode or two in there. That's another episode of the week sort of thing. But I feel like for the rest of the season, they're really going to kind of ramp it up to that finale.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of another Popcorn Banter mini. So thank you for showing up again, Keeks.
No, it's been a pleasure. If anyone agrees with us or doesn't, feel free to let us know in the comments. We're always happy to have a chat.
Let us know in the comments. Also head to the website and check out this week's review, and also check out the videos from the last 2 weeks and the reviews from the last 2 weeks as well. Or just go to www.popcornbanter.com and check out the website in general. But until next week, see you later.